My mom stole my credit and owes me $5,000+ and laughed when I said she needs to pay me back. I, 22-year-old female, am not sure how to approach this situation. My mother fell victim to the trading and Forex lifestyle in 2016. She didn't get a job until early this year because I moved out and she wasn't able to use my paychecks anymore to pay their bills. From ages 14 to 21, she has pawned countless of my favorite items, including my Xbox and my KitchenAid mixer. I was only told once I found out. In addition to this, she has taken all of the money that relatives sent to me for birthdays, Christmas, and graduation during those years. She was routinely siphoning my paychecks as well. She's also taken out payday loans in my name. I received my first credit card at age 18. She ran it up over the limit and didn't pay it back. I am still unable to apply for any credit card that isn't secured. Throughout all of this, she's promised to pay me back. Of course, I believed her. It's my mom. After a while, I stopped keeping track of all of the money she's borrowed, but I know it totals over $5,000. We had an arrangement where I told her instead of paying me back, she could buy me a car, which she has been promising since I was 16. Last week, I told her I had been looking at cars and she seemed enthusiastic and excited to help. I called her yesterday to let her know I found a car and asked how she was going to contribute. She laughed in my face and told me she wasn't paying for anything. I said, okay, well, give me the thousands of dollars you owe me. She laughed again and told me she didn't have any, even though earlier in the conversation she told me she had put away $4,000. I understood that she's finally catching up on all of their debt after trading all of those years. But do I not deserve any form of compensation? I kept the secret debt from my dad all of this time, so he thinks I'm a lazy freeloader who just wants my parents to pay for everything, not knowing how I sacrificed my teenage years just to keep the house afloat. I'm finally raising my credit score and accumulating my own savings now, but I genuinely don't know how to move past this or approach the situation with my family. I was pretty much my mom's therapist during this time, which makes me feel more emotionally guilty for asking for the money back or telling my family the truth. I have no idea what to do. I don't even need the money, but I can't let go of the resentment I feel, especially when I see other parents doing and paying for everything they can to support their child. Well, I hate to say it, but if there were ever a time to sue your parents, I think this is one of them. This story is absolutely insane, and the fact that her father doesn't even know what's going on makes the whole situation even crazier and probably makes it more complicated for the mother to actually pay this debt back, because the father probably knows that she has $4,000 put away in a savings account. So how would she explain that to him if it just disappeared randomly? But if he knew what was going on, then that would certainly make the situation a little bit easier. I'm surprised that the OP feels so guilty and says that they don't need the money, but clearly based on principle alone, like if it's over $5,000, the mother needs to figure out how to pay that back. There's absolutely no question. I know that the OP is only 22 years old, but she needs to learn how to stand up for herself and figure out how to get this rectified, because it's only going to get worse. Hopefully she's figured out how to freeze her credit and get her mom to stop putting her in more debt, but there's so much wrong in this situation. It's understandable that it's hard to know where to begin. First thing she needs to do is get her father involved. He needs to know everything that's going on. Otherwise, it's never going to get rectified. And if she can't get them both on board, then she absolutely needs to get law enforcement involved, because it's crazy. There needs to be some kind of payback plan that is legally required at this point. Because if this has been going on since she was 16 years old and now she's 22 and the situation has only gotten worse, I don't see it getting any better. And clearly, $4,000 just being paid back would put a huge dent in the debt that is owed to her daughter. At this point, I'm surprised that the daughter feels any sort of guilt whatsoever. And I'm surprised that she's even part of her mother's life, because if one of my parents ever did anything like this to me, I would most definitely make sure I did everything that I could to get that money back. And then I would probably cut them out of my life, because that's a crazy thing to put your kid through. Not only is this 22-year-old female in thousands of dollars of debt because of her mom stealing her identity and opening credit cards, but is owed over $5,000 from her mother that was not legally or willingly borrowed from her. and somehow the father still has no idea that this has been going on. It sounds like there's a really weird relationship dynamic all the way around. What do you think the OP should do in order to rectify this situation? Let me know what you think in the comments.